My students that I get to work with on Mondays and Wednesdays from 1 to 2:15 throughout the semester. We are completing our studies. Next week we have finals. So we want to, play music and maybe relax a little bit before we get stressed out again. I don't know. So I'm really happy to be here to play just various music that we work on throughout the term. A lot of the music we focus on is like Hispanic heritage kind of repertoire, and these first few pieces are just those. This first piece is called Canción by Manuel Ponce. Thank you very much. Super students, thank you very much. They will continue to play one more piece called Middle Fork. It's kind of in an Appalachian influence style. I would almost describe it as Americana. Kind of, there are these harmonies and elements that sound a little bit like bluegrass. And it's a really nice piece, so I hope you enjoy it. This is the trio performing Middle Fork by Leo Welch. Good. The next composition is actually something from the Renaissance period, where the music in the Renaissance, if you're familiar with that language, it tends to be what we call polyphonic. And there was a lot of great vocal music. So polyphonic is when you have these independent lines that sound, all the voices basically sound, or the parts all sound like they can hold their own, and they're very melodic. This is a 4-part piece, and generally, just like you would if you're dealing with vocal music, you have a soprano, alto, and a tenor and a bass. And the bass part is going to be played over here. We're actually going to use a bass guitar that you've probably already heard. And we're going to use a little bit of mandolin to kind of change up the color. And it's a nice little upbeat piece called Gathering Peascods. Also, an ensemble this size, we have the pleasure of breaking up kind of the formation. Uh, it's great to, of course, play in a large group. This would be called my large ensemble. But I also like to make them smaller groups. That way, students can concentrate on different skills. It's a lot more challenging to play in a smaller ensemble. So right now, what we're going to do is we're just not going to move around so much, but we had to just make a few adjustments. We're going to do a trio performance. There are going to be two pieces that we'll perform. This first piece that we'll perform, or that they'll perform, I should say, is a composition that a student wrote. This is a student who's currently at Collin College and is taking composition lessons. And we always love to support students who are working on works. And so whenever they're writing something and maybe they had guitar in mind, I always encourage them, hey, write a piece for us. So we'll play it. So that's the case here. I believe the composer is present. Let me see, maybe he's behind me. No, he's right over there. I thought he said he had a few words he wanted to say. Do you still want to say some words? Okay, you can come on up here and make some words here. And
okay, so this piece basically, yeah. All right, so I'm Adam Johnson. So this piece is just like just a short guitar trio that I wrote, in particular because I heard a recording of a piece by Fernando Sor called La Romanesca, and I really enjoyed it, and in particular I really liked the opening motif, and so I basically used that for pretty much the rest of the piece, developing it and mutating it into various different ways. And so if you're familiar with that piece, you might recognize that in this one. And other than that, enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you, Adam. pretty much in this similar style. This is a Spanish carol that's called A la Nanita Nana. In this ensemble, we're fortunate enough to mix it up a bit, and you'll see some different instruments that we use. This instrument that I'm going to be playing is called charango, and it's a traditional Bolivian, Peruvian instrument. Works very great for chords and things like that when you want to accompany an ensemble. This next composition is called Cuando. This is something that I wrote. I tried to write a piece each semester, something that I want my students to work on. This imitates the joropo rhythm that you find in Venezuelan traditional music. Yes, sorry, we had to make some adjustments for time so that we can make sure to at least play most of the things that we've prepared for you guys. This next piece, it was introduced to me by my student in the class who has Filipino heritage, and he's like, I'd love this. I want us to do a song where I could sing it and in Filipino, and this is the composition that we're gonna play. Nanamasco. How do you say this composition? Do you have your microphone? Maybe you could introduce it a little bit.
In Filipino culture, a lot of the time when you'll go caroling, you'll just sing one song right after the other. And I guess as it got closer to Christmas, which is called Pasko in Tagalog, which is like one of the major languages of the Philippines, I started getting more in the Christmas spirit. Started listening to a bunch of Philippine Christmas music in probably late August. But that's that's behind us. And so I saw these two songs, Pasko na naman, also known and Namamasko, and they go so well together. So I just decided to combine the two and arrange them for this guitar ensemble. So
I didn't realize that it was two songs together.
it is. That's why it has an X in the middle of the title. Yeah.
I thought that was just a problem with the PDF.
No, I don't make mistakes.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm always learning from my students, and this is a wonderful thing. So, excellent. This is so we're going to prepare this piece, and this is going to feature one of the students in the ensemble, Logan Schaefer.
Sa may bahay ang aming hati, Merry Christmas na malwalhati. Ang pag-ibig pag siyang naghani, araw-araw ay magiging Paskong lagi. Ang sanhibong mo dito, hihingi po ng aginaldo. Kung sakalit kami perwisyo, pasensya na kayo't kami namamasko. Ang sanhi po ng pagparito, hihingi po ng aginaldo. Kung sakalit kami perwisyo, pasensya na kayo't kami namamasko. Pasko na naman o kay tunin ng araw, Paskong nagdaan, tila bagong kailan lang. Ngayon ay Pasko, dapat pasalamatan. Ngayon ay Pasko, tayo ay mag-awitan. Pasko, Pasko, Pasko na naman muli, daling araw na ating pinakamimiti. Pasko, Pasko, Pasko na naman muli, ang pag-ibig naghahari. Pasko, Pasko, Pasko na naman muli, na ating pinakamimiti. Pasko, Pasko, Pasko na naman muli, ang pag-ibig naghahari. Sa may bahay ang aming hati, Merry Christmas na malwalhati. Ang pag-ibig pag siyang naghari, araw-araw ay magiging Paskong lagi.
To our music. This is my 1 o'clock guitar ensemble, and I hope that you can hear us perform again really soon. Thank you.